I want to talk a little bit about the seasons of life today. I have been reflecting on this as I continue to walk out this season of my own life. And the thing that just keeps getting me through it is understanding there's a beginning and an end to this season. And if I can lean into this season and appreciate it for what it is and what it will develop in me, then I'll come out of this better, stronger, bolder, more courageous, more brave, more adaptable, more available, more in sync with what God's mission is for my life, His calling and His purpose for me. And it's just not fighting against it. It's understanding this is a season and what does God have for me in this season. And the other thing that just really gets me through seasons like this where it's really hard is I go, man, God, I can't wait to meet that woman on the other side of this season. I can't wait to see the character you develop in her through the fires of this season. That woman who will rise from the ashes once again, who will make her greatest comeback. But it's all the messages we say to ourselves. You know, our inward, internal messaging is what allows us to either be enslaved to our season or empowered by our season. If your inward messaging is like, why am I going through this? Man, life is always so awful. I can't ever get past it. Your inward messaging is actually enslaving you. It is keeping you back, is holding you back from God's potential in the season. But if through the season you're like, wow, God, I have seen you come through in the past. I know you are a good and a faithful Father. And I know somewhere in my future, there's some good waiting for me. Because you promised that good to me. And that's like I love Romans 8:28 where it says let me get it real quick. Romans 8:28. I was going to go a different direction, but all of a sudden, this is where I feel landing on. We are assured and know that God being a partner in their labor, all things work together and are fitting into a plan for good. Fitting into a plan for good. God's good will always prevail through the painful seasons of our lives. His purpose is greater than the experience that we face. And it says, for good to and for those who love God and are called according to His design and His purpose. So there's not necessarily good that you feel in the waiting. There's not this good that you feel in the wrestling as this like, oh, this season, it hurts. Like there's a depth in me that it hurts. And I want to be past it in my sinful nature and my flesh. I'm like, can we get over there? Like, I like it over there. That place looks nice. But right here, man, I don't know if I like this. But what I have to keep my eyes focused on is the fact that God has promised me good. Somewhere on the other side of this season is a good that will be worth fighting for. Are you willing to fight for the good that God has for you? And that He is, sorry, my son was trying to get my attention, so I was giving him a thumbs up because he's excited about something. But that is like this good that God has for us. I want to focus on that good. Knowing that even if it doesn't feel good right now, my Father has promised me good on the other side of this. And that woman waiting on the other side, she's worth fighting for. That man or woman that you're looking in the mirror to, wondering how they're going to come through this season, are you saying the right messaging? Are you internally believing in a God who is going to get you through and a God who has showed up time and time again in your past? If not, you need to change your messaging. Because you can't get through this season with a grace and an elegance and a dignity without really having your eyes focused on the good that God promises you. We're going to talk more about that, but just really want you to hold on to that good, cling to it with all your might. Because as I go into an appointment hoping for some answers, but knowing that it's quite possible there won't be answers and there may be more testing and it may be just a season of continuously trying to figure it out and changing one more thing and adapting one more thing in my lifestyle or just really embracing the season for what it is, walking into it with a confidence and a hope in Christ. Knowing, God, those doctors may not have the answers, but they are not my Jehovah Rapha. You are. You're my healer. You know my body. You know when it started to get off. You know when it's going to get back on course. And you know every step to get me back on course. So I trust in you, God. I trust in your goodness. I trust in your character. I trust that through this season, through this fire, you are bringing forth a woman who's going to be worth fighting for.